The next thing we need to consider is if in a statement it says and or, two commonly used words with these sorts of questions. And in general, if we see the word and in the statement, then that will mean we'll multiply the combinations or the permutations together. If we see the word or, then we will add. And you've probably done something similar to this when you've worked with probabilities in the past. So let's have a look at this in action. Let's say we're trying to work out the number of routes that would take us from P to Q. So obviously if I'm going from P to Q on this diagram, this network diagram here, I can go top route, middle route, or bottom route. So let's take the top one. If I'm going PADQ, I've got one way of going from P to A, two ways of going from A to D, and then one way of going from D to Q. So it'll be 1 times 2 times 1, because I need to go from P to A, and then from A to D, and then from D to Q. So it's a multiplication. So 2 possibilities, basically. And that makes sense. I've basically only got a choice of going top route or bottom route there. I've got no other routes that I can go for these parts here. So there's only 2 possibilities. On the bottom one, 1 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that will give me 6. And on the bottom ones, 1 times 3 times 1. So that will just give me 3. And then from those, I can either take the top route or the middle route or the bottom route. It's not that I'm taking the top route and the middle route. It's one or the other. It's either or. So I'll therefore be adding each of these numbers together. 2 add 6 add 3. And that then gives me that there's 11 different possible routes going from P to Q.